Welcome to the Black and Green podcast. It's your go-to place to find the latest high-quality, all-natural products created by Black artisans. Hosted by yours truly, Dr. Kristen H., the founder of Black and Green. We'll discuss all things health, wellness, self-care, and of course, self-love. This podcast features a refreshing lineup of guests, from entrepreneurs and artisans to holistic lifestylists and clean beauty experts, and a plethora of other innovators within the wellness industry. Join me as we learn from the best of the best. Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for listening to the Black and Green podcast. I'm very excited today. We have a very new artisan with us, Marnay. Hi Marnay, how are you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Can you tell us the name of your brand?
Definitely, it's Marnay's Body Shop.
Okay, awesome. Can you tell us the background story of how you got started and what inspired you?
Sure. I started a few years ago. Honestly, I was making body butters for a family member that was having skin issues. And I did some research and found out that shea butter could work well with her skin. So what happened was I started making products for the family member and also for friends because they started requesting my peppermint body butter. They seemed to love it, so I made it for them. And then one day, on my birthday, actually, January 1st, 2018, my sister was using body butter, but the container was like very small. And she said she paid all this money for the body butter. And I said, well, I can make more for you for less. And so she said, okay, well, I want pineapple mango. I said, okay, I got you. And I made the pineapple mango, and she loved it. And she said, you need to start a business. And literally, I made a decision to start my business legally, basically, in 2018.
That's so exciting that basically you found a need, and you found the need that you can fix and you can meet. So were you ever thinking about getting into the body butter business, or did it just kind of happen to you? Is this a journey you expected, or was it completely new?
So new. I wanted to start a business a long time ago in my early 20s, but life happens. And so that dream kind of got put to the side. But when I was making the body butters, it's kind of like I fell into doing a business because I would have coworkers that would request it. And then they would say, hey, my jar's empty, sis. Can you fill it? I need more body butter. And I was like, oh, you really like it? And they said, you need to charge. And so slowly I started to charge. I went on Etsy.com. I said, oh, let me see if I could sell a couple. But it really was, I believe, 2018 when I realized, no, you can go into business.
Okay, awesome. And so what's your big vision for your company as you're forming it, and now it's formed, now it is a business? Kind of where do you want to see it go?
Oh, wow. One of my inspirations is Carol's Daughters. I love Lisa Price. And when I first started making body butters, I read her book. And I said, Dag, if I can do something like Carol's Daughters, that would be a dream. And I'm hoping in a few years that I can run my own company and that I can grow. And you could see me on QVC somewhere.
Well, awesome. Do you still have your daytime 9-to-5 job? Are you doing this like full time? Kind of where are you at in your journey?
Ooh, child, yes, 9 to 5. Yes, I still have a full-time job.
Is it something that you like? Is that you want to always keep? Is it something that you want to hope to step away from? Kind of what's your idea of how you're going to balance a entrepreneurship and a job at the same time?
I would rather do my business. Okay. I love to create. That's my passion. And I always believe that you should work at something you love. And right now, the 9-to-5 is helping me to fund the business that I have. But yes, I would love to do this full time, being Marnay's Body Shop. And I believe in the future it could possibly happen.
Awesome. And what else when you say Marnay's Body Shop and not just Marnay's body butter. So kind of
Right.
so what is the idea of all the different products you would have? Kind of what's the thought that you're having? What's the big dream?
The dream is to be more holistic. Honestly, the whole purpose of creating the body butters was to give people products that weren't damaging to the skin. Once you find out the research of what's in certain name brands in the store, it's kind of scary. And then you're wondering why your skin breaks out on, different situations with your skin. And of course, it deals with what you're putting in your body. So I would like to address many things. That's why I created the body scrubs and the hair oil, the beard balms, the beard oils, because I didn't want to just handle products with shea butter. I wanted to explore different things that you can be proud to put on your skin, your hair, on your body, and know that I'm not adding certain chemicals to it that can harm your skin. So really, we're trying to grow on a holistic level.
Got it.
Yes.
What's one of the biggest challenges you have faced so far?
There's many. Because you wear many hats as an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And some of the challenges, I would say, of course, financial, especially during the pandemic. I really wasn't certain what was going to happen to the business. The blessing is that people still wanted to purchase items. So I always call it God winks, because sometimes you're ready to give up and God will give you a wink to let you know to keep pressing. And when someone said, hey, you still making body butters? I know we're dealing with a pandemic. I said, you want a body butter? Oh, okay. So the business started to really grow during the pandemic. I was shocked. I didn't expect that. Where other businesses might have suffered, I guess because we were online already, people was like, well, we'll just order from you. And I said, no problem. Other issues are, you have to come out of yourself as an entrepreneur. And that's not easy. Especially, I can be like face to face, I'm very social, but online I'm an introvert. So people will give you advice as an entrepreneur, and some are good, some are bad, some are useful, but make sure you're true to yourself and what works for you. And I struggled with that because I thought, I need to be in your face every day, posting 10 times a day. And that's not my personality.
Right.
I want to gently let you know I'm here. So being an entrepreneur, the struggles can be financial. It could be personality, because you're trying to find yourself as an entrepreneur and what works for you. Don't do what everybody else do. You have to be different.
Yes. I like that, being true to yourself.
Yes.
I think that's something that we all need to work on, is being true to ourselves and really knowing who we are and what we want, and what advice should I take and what advice should I not take. Because sometimes advice is useful, sometimes it is not. And so you have to trust yourself to be able to tell the difference.
Exactly.
You have to trust yourself to be able to tell the difference. So tell us about your self-care routine. Kind of what are the things that you do to make sure you stay grounded and balanced?
Working out. I noticed that sometimes as an entrepreneur, you get so busy that you don't even take the time to take a walk.
Yes.
So I have incorporated exercise in my life this year, because I was running around so much and I wasn't taking time for me.
Yes.
You know how it is. You take care of home and everybody else, but not yourself.
Never yourself. You always. I don't know why we always put ourselves at the end of our to-do list.
Yes. We're like the last. We're always on our own list.
It's like almost like it's a journey to learn to put yourself first.
Exactly.
I know for me, it's something I still fight, is that when I try to put myself first, I feel guilty.
Yes, the guilt will kick in.
I feel guilty for, oh, what should I be doing? Oh, this isn't that important. Oh, I should do something for someone else. It's a battle with myself to put myself
Yes,
first.
I agree. I
Yes.
battle with that a lot,
Yes.
especially with family. But I won't be no good to them if I'm burnt out,
Exactly.
And I know I can be much a go getter. And
Yes.
so sometimes which I like because I'm learning more of that about myself being an entrepreneur, I was like, dang, I didn't know I was a go-getter like that. I'm surprised of myself. So sometimes you're like, yeah, it's the grind culture. Grind.
Right.
But I was like, you need to sleep.
Yeah.
So sleep is definitely a self-care tip, but exercise. Try to de-stress. I'm trying to do my own health journey, especially if I want to be more into the holistic area of my life. In my business, it has to coincide together,
Yeah.
But I do try to also burn candles, set the mood for yourself.
Set the mood for yourself. That's a beautiful, I don't think people think about setting the mood for yourself.
For yourself. I know we'll set the mood for our partner. But sometimes just love on yourself. Set the mood for you. What do you like? What music do you like? Find a child within you. As a child, what did you love to do?
Yes.
Find that, because the older you get, you lose it with all of the running around that you're doing. You kind of lose yourself.
Yes.
And for me, I love to write, so I'm a writer. So I write as well. I journal. I write short stories. I try to find what made me so passionate to do what I'm doing, to be, in the beginning. Because sometimes with business, you get caught up with wearing so many hats, but then you almost lose track of why you started this in the first place.
Exactly. You don't want to ever lose your mission.
Yes.
You don't
exactly.
Lose your mission.
Yes.
So right now we're going to go ahead and pause for a meditation.
Okay.
So thank you for being here with us. And I think that you're talking a lot about making sure your cup is full.
Yes.
That if you want to continue to feed other people, that you can't be empty.
Yes.
And I think that's really important as you try to talk about developing your own self-care routine, and working out and journaling, how those are things that you do to keep yourself balanced and whole.
Yes.
And I think the important thing that Black and Green talks about is how you can make sure you use products that support you on that journey.
Right.
You don't want to use products where you are ingesting toxic things into your body. You want to make sure that you use products that are non-toxic and holistic, as you say. And so that you made the choice to intentionally create products that are holistic and healthy for people to use on their bodies. Now we will pause for a moment of meditation with Dr. Crystal Jones.
So wherever you are right now, just take a moment to be. Be in your awareness, be in your truth, be in your wholeness. Allow yourself to show up as light, dark, and every shade of gray in between. Feeling your presence, experiencing your truth. Finding your breath. And instead of directing her, listen to her. Ask her where she wants to spend more time, and spend more time there. Ask her where she's stuck, and go into the experience of why. Be in this breath, be in this movement, and continue to cultivate this experience through the rest of your day. Honoring that your truth and whatever you show up as is always enough. You are perfection and excellence personified. Anything that tells you that you're anything else no longer serves you.
And also, you're talking about kind of forming your brand outside of just body butters, but the other products that you're creating. So can you kind of tell the stories of why you created other products? So I understand your story of creating the body butter, how it was successful and people wanted it.
Right.
How did you kind of merge from there? And what were the products that you created? And what were the reasons why you created these other products?
Okay. Well, I started with hair oils after the body butters. And I did that because one time I had to make hair oil. I had my hair braided, and my hair, you know how it goes. You get your hair braided, your scalp start to itch. Just keeping it real. And a lot of us will run to the store and get products, and it works. But I couldn't find anything in the store that I would want to use. And because I was, no lie, I was in love with Dark and Lovely. They had, I forget the name of the scent, but I think it might have been like an almond oil. And it was one of my favorites, but I don't see it on the shelves anymore. And so I said, well, make it yourself. And when I made it, my scalp wasn't itching. My hair started to grow because I'm already on a journey to grow my natural hair. So I said, well, you might as well work with some products you make and use it on your hair. And my hair started to grow. I love the scent. I love that because I have dry skin. And I didn't, sometimes when I would spray oils and different things from the store, it didn't like help condition the hair or moisturize the scalp. So I wanted to create something that if people buy, they can't say, oh, when I use this, I'm still having issues. And so I started passing the oils out and telling people, hey, try it out. Because I always try to go, hey, try this, see what you like, let me know what you think. And people were saying that, oh, my God, my hair is growing and it's not itching anymore. And so I continued on with the hair oils.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm always trying to figure out a hair routine. When I was younger, of course, I had a relaxer. And then I cut my relaxer out and I started going natural. I'm trying to figure out the best practice to kind of maintain my hair, maintain the length. And something I've been doing now, I'm curious to see what you think about it, is holding my hair when it's still wet. That's something I didn't notice, but this thing is trying to lock in the moisture. So oil your hair when it's still wet so you can lock in that moisture instead of waiting until it's dry. So so that's something new that I just learned. And honestly, it's been working pretty well.
Good. Yes, that's what you do. There's so much to learn.
Yes, it is.
A friend of mine started me on the natural hair journey.
Yes.
And the sad part was I reverted back to the creamy crack, I called it.
Yes.
And because it takes work. It does. You can't be lazy with your hair. It takes
so much work. I cut all my hair off because I was like, this is too much. Let me cut that down some more.
Yes. It's a lot of work. And back then, a few years ago, I was dedicated. Mm-hmm. Then the second time around, I was like, ooh, child, you need to do something with your hair. You let it go. And I'm glad that I went back to going natural because when I had the perm in my hair was breaking off so bad. And I also think I took advantage of, the hair's straight, ain't much you got to do about it, that kind of mentality. But no, you're damaging your hair and it needs more moisture,
Yep.
So I went back to going natural. And it's been an experience. I learned a lot about myself going natural.
What did you learn?
When I first went natural, it was interesting finding out my hair texture. Because the last time my hair was natural was when I was a little girl. So to see how my hair formed and how it coiled, it was interesting to me. Sometimes you're like, oh, I know I'm a 4C. I used to say that to myself. And then I would notice on certain aspects of my hair, maybe a 3C.
Yep. And how do you know? I know some people are confused about knowing what their hair type is. Is there any tips you can provide them to figure out their hair type?
Sure. I'm not a pro, but for me, saying 4C is when your hair is more kinkier, and it's tightly coiled. 3C, more loosely, but it's still thick, I am a 3C, 4C. I thought I was all 4C until my hair was wet, and I seen how in the back of my head it was 3C, but that middle child was definitely a 4C. So I had to learn how to handle my hair the correct way. Where to put the most attention to. All of it needs attention, but maybe, in the middle of your hair, you need to be more gentle, not rake the blow dryer through your hair harshly. And because you're trying to blow dry your hair, or in the back too much. There were things, that I learned. And I learned it from, and I will shout her out, Long Hair, Don't Care. That young lady is a teacher.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot from her. Still learning, still growing. I always tell people I'm still a student when it comes to natural hair, natural products. Still a student. There's always something to learn. But I followed her also, I believe her name is Shakur or Shakuria. Korea, I believe her name is. There's a book out, and I used to read it years ago about managing your hair. Do the research, read the books. It's so important. But yes, that's how I learned a little something.
Got it. I think that I'm still a student is a good mindset to have about life.
Yes.
Whether it's your hair, or whether it's a new journey you're going down, whether it's self-care, whether it's food, whether it's relationships, I think I'm still a student. We never know everything 100%. And so I think it's really important for us to constantly be in that learning mindset, that let me look at the situation and figure out what can I learn.
Right.
I think that's really, really important. And understanding, I know for me with self-care, it's also been making sure I have the right people in my circle. I have my right relationships. And has that been something that's important for you in your self-care, and making sure you're surrounded by people who are supporting that?
Oh, most definitely. I had to learn to remove myself.
Yes.
Sad to say. It's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
It's a good thing. But it was also a heartbreaking thing to do in the beginning. I'll say it in such a way. You're trying to grow as a person. You have to be surrounded by positive people, and people that believe in your dream, and people that are sometimes going in the direction you're going. Sometimes you're surrounded by people and you feel that, they're on the same page, but you start to find out when you're trying to be an entrepreneur, or you see a dream of yours that you're pursuing, sometimes you can't take everybody with you on that journey. You want to, but you can't.
And how do you know?
Well, with certain situations, I noticed that some people just say things to let you know that they're not on the same path. If you have a vision and someone kind of acts like that can't be possible, that's something to question in regards to should you share your dreams or your plans with that person, because it's already hard to do the work. You have to wake up every day and push yourself to say, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm going to be a writer. I'm going to be an actress. All of these things that people push for. You have to convince yourself every day to do these things. So in order to convince yourself, you can't have someone tell you, no, that's not going to happen. That doesn't help you in any shape or form.
Yeah.
You know, there are people around you that will be realistic and they'll ask genuine questions like, how are you going to go about it? Do you need help? Yes, that's not an issue at all. But if your spirit is telling you, and I always tell people, discern in your spirit what you take notice of. And if that person is not on your side and is constant, you have to remove yourself from the situation.
Yep, you have to trust yourself to be able to make that decision.
Oh, yes. And I know it's not easy because you're like, that's my homegirl. You know, that's somebody I grew up with or I was cool with. That's family. Hey, it can be family. And you love your family, but it takes so much energy to fight off negativity.
Yes.
And you really have to be in a space. I'm a believer in God.
Yes.
So I go to him and I pray. And I ask for guidance. And it's already, people are prone to think negative. I'm even prone to think negative at times. So to fight those thoughts, I can't be surrounded by people that are trying to doubt me or, they grew up with you. So they say, oh, you just that girl I knew down the street. Okay, that's fine. But I believe that God is leading me in a different path.
Exactly.
You have to trust yourself and trust your judgment and your discernment. Always discern. Your discernment will not steer you wrong.
Yes. And the thing about it is that you can love someone when it is family. You can love someone and still require space.
Yes.
It can both be true. Just because you require space does not mean you don't love them. It's saying, hey, for the moment I am in my life right now, I need space from you. That doesn't mean I don't like you. That doesn't mean I don't love you. That doesn't mean that one day we're going to come back closer together. But in this current moment right now, I need space.
Oh, exactly. It's called boundaries.
Yes. That's what it's called. It's called boundaries. Do you have anything else you want to share with us before we wrap up this podcast?
Just thank you for the opportunity. I'm excited to be a part of Black and Green. I hope that people will visit Marnay's Body Shop. We're online, www.marnay, M-A-R-N-A, body, B-O-D-Y, shop, shop.com. And we have more things coming. We have candles as well, soy wax melts. But we're growing, and I hope people give us a shot.
It was so good talking with you. Thank you for joining in with me on this podcast interview.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for tuning into the Black and Green podcast. Did you have more questions for our special guest? Please leave your questions in the comment section. Also, check us out at blkgrn.com. Please subscribe and comment. We love hearing from you. Until next time, buy Black and live green.